everybody healthy after practice.
Yes.
Did you have any conversation with Noah during the course of the 2 games or between games 1 and 2?
Yes, sir.
Keep shooting.
Yeah, keep being aggressive, keep being who you are. And like I said, at the end of the game, he made 3 big shots for us, so he puts in too much work, to get discouraged. And so, yeah, we need him to be aggressive.
So he'll go over 5 in the first 5 shots, 3 for 40 in the game. Let's show you how much he's trusting in his work and you guys believe in him.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, he's got to trust in his work. He works too hard. Sometimes I think too much, So, loved me at the end of the game. You saw we did for us last year at the end of the game. And so this wasn't any different. So I'm glad he was able to make those 3 shots in the fourth quarter. And hopefully they get him going throughout the course of the series.
So to that point, does it feel like a norm game is potentially coming in this
yes,
series?
Sir.
Yeah, because a lot of those shots that he missed are shots that, like you mentioned, he's made throughout the course of the year.
Yes, sir.
And then he mentioned as well just the confidence that Kawhi and James have in him and how much that has helped. How have you seen that play out, just the 2 stars of this team trusting their teammates, particularly Norm?
Yeah, just being encouraged and telling them to keep shooting, keep being aggressive. And you saw that 3 that he made, like Kawhi had the ball and swung it right back to Norm to get a wide open shot. And so we all have trust and belief in him, and he has belief in himself as well. And so he'll be a lot better.
Off of that, Bogey hasn't hit a shot yet in the series. Like, what do you feel like Denver is doing to make him maybe uncomfortable, and what do you feel like can unlock him going into the home portion of the series?
Same thing. I think he'll be okay. I think he got some good shots. One shot he rushed, tried to draw the foul, but other than that, I thought he got some good shots, and he'll be okay as well.
This feels like the most evenly matched series. Just what have you enjoyed about kind of the chess game and preparing for the matchups in this one?
I haven't enjoyed it at all. Not against Joker. We just put you in some tough positions. Like I said, when you have a 7-foot center that can come off pin downs, shoot the 3, post smaller guys or bigger guys, put the ball on the floor, and his passing ability, it just makes it tough for you to do the same thing and try to take him out of the game because he can kill you in so many ways. And so just try to show him different coverages, different looks, try to keep them all balanced as best we can, and then just go from there.
Because of how close this series is, how much does that raise the attention to detail, the urgency of every little thing impacting what could come in the end of the game?
Yeah, that's basically our film session today. Coming up, and we had 5 plays out of timeouts. We didn't execute the right way. It was in the wrong positions. So you can't waste possessions in the playoffs. And then, rebound the basketball, like we talked about all year. Gave up 15 offensive rebounds. I think they beat us 50-32 on the glass. And so we got to be better just, understanding what we're doing. We got to hit bodies. We got to secure the rebound. And when we do that, we can play with more pace and get out in transition.
Nikola mentioned that as far as like the defense you guys are throwing at him, it's a lot of read and react because you guys are throwing so many different coverages. How is the dynamic defensively working in different things that you throw at him throughout a game?
How's it working?
How's the dynamic working between like when you choose to do this or that?
Yeah, like I said, we understand how they're trying to attack us now. What they're doing offensively, and so we did a good job of countering that. I think when we did counter, we got hurt with the offensive rebound because we were in scramble mode. It wasn't like staying at home and you can keep a body on Gordon and keep a body on Porter. We were blitzing, and so now you're in scramble mode. So now you got to be more, physical. Like when you get to the bat, you got to really hit guys and drive them out. And so we didn't do a good job of that. I thought our initial defense was really good, but when the shot went up, we got to be better.
It seemed like game 2 compared to game 1, Denver was more willing to just switch and play Kawhi one-on-one defensively. Did that surprise you a little bit compared to game 1 that they didn't try to blitz or fire at him as much as they did?
Well, we put him in different positions. I think game 1 we saw how they try to play. And then game 2, we did a better job of just trying to keep Kawhi in the middle of the floor, in the middle third, so he can attack from there. And it's kind of hard to double team in that position. But then they did start firing late in the game, so we'll see.
What makes Kawhi so deadly in isolation?
Because he's a guy who can get to a spot. He's big enough to get to a spot. Even if the double team's coming, he can get to a spot quick enough we can shoot before the double team arrives. And then, like I said, if you switch and put smaller guys on, he can take advantage of that as well. And so, you got to see what they're going to do in Game 3, and we'll be ready for it.
I know there's things that you think you can live with defensively, but I know there's things defensively you can live with. But Russ has made 5 threes. I think he shot 5 of 12. A lot of them from the corners. How are you kind of looking at his 3-point shooting so far in this series?
He shot the 3-point shot really good this year while being in Denver. I think he's shooting 43 from the corners, 53 uncontested from the corners, and then above the break he's shooting 26%. So we got to understand that we want to be active, we want to help, but we just can't leave Russ in the corner. Like, he's proven he can make those shots, but we do want to be help-oriented, not just him, just everybody, and then get back out, get a contest, but we just can't leave him and give him their shots.
Norm said that because of the talent involved in this series, it doesn't feel like a first-round series.
It doesn't.
What does it feel like here?
Western Conference Finals.
Coach, I wanted to ask about Chris Dunn. Obviously, James and Zoo and Kawhi get all the recognition, but it seems like Chris Dunn has been equally as important for you guys, especially defensively. He's been relentless. You look at that 50-50 ball he had with Michael Porter Jr. in the middle of the floor, get it to Norm Powell for that puts you guys ahead. Can you talk about what Chris Dunn has meant to you guys in his first 2 games?
No, not just these 2 games, all season long. All season long, just who he is as a person, how he plays, how he approaches every single game, and we take on that personality. And when we do it every night, take on that personality, we're a tough team to beat. And so he's the head of the snake when it comes to starting the game with a defensive mindset, playing hard, competing defensively, and we need that every single night. And so that's what he brings for us.
Now, when you guys pick up full court, how does that help your defense? How does it slow down their offense?
It helps a lot. I think it allows them to get into their triggers, later in the clock, which takes away Jokic's decision making, being able to pass the ball 3 or 4 times and make a play. It also wears them down when they're playing so many minutes, playing heavy minutes. I thought when Ben came in the game and picked up Joker full court and kind of denied him and got into him, I thought it wore him down. And the DJ picked up Jamal, and then Nico was up picking up the floor against him. So I think as the series goes along, and the more minutes they're playing, the more we can be, physical, picking up full court and trying to wear them down and be good for us.
After game 1, you said you didn't like the pace of that game. What did you think of the pace of game 2?
I didn't like it.
You still weren't getting into stuff as quickly as you
No,
like?
we can get better.
Ty, when you look at
Last one.
Nikola, and obviously I think officiating is a big part of this series with how everyone likes to draw fouls, but there's been a lot of embellishing of contact. Like, how are you approaching that with the officials? Like, do you have conversations about that? Are there conversations with the players about that? Like, how do you approach those type of things?
The officials are doing a great job. Have a good day. But what?
No, but seriously, how do you approach that when it's?
Man, we just got to play through it. We just got to play through it. He's the MVP. He's the MVP for a reason. He's going to get certain calls, and we just got to play through it. We got to play through everything. So, he's been doing it. He's a good player. He's good at doing it, and so, there's nothing we can do. Just play through it.
Thanks, Coach.